I commend you for trying something different, but just try to stick the landing. Chase Black here at the Blue Futon reviewing Candy Cane Lane. So what's it about? Pretty simple premise. This is an Eddie Murphy Christmas movie where, you know what? He just lost his job right before Christmas. Bunch of buttholes. But now he goes into this random, just nice Christmas shop with an elf named Pepper. And he checks out, and she's like, sign the receipt. And he's like, I don't know if I should sign the receipt. But she's like, sign the receipt. And he's like, okay, I'll sign the receipt. But bam, now he has 72 hours to find 5 rings, or he's going to turn into a little ceramic guy that's trapped in the body forever. So, did I like this film? Not so much. This was a kid's movie. I completely understand that. And yeah, now I'm thinking about it, even though it's a kid's movie, it didn't know what it wanted to be because there was a lot of language in it where you're like, you're trying to push that PG boundary to make it PG-13, especially at the very beginning. It feels like the whole Barbie scene where it's like, I'll beat you off, the beach scene. And this one talks about, blow up items in their yard or carving wood. So you're just like, this is on the boundary of like weird sexualized humor for a PG movie. It's really awkward. The story itself, fine. The overall funness of it really didn't work. The weirdness of it, I think, took me out of the film. Because if these band members, these random dancing men, these random geese, these random doves, these random everything are just coming out of the woodworks, and then when you defeat them, turn back into wood, no one cares. Everyone's like, oh, that's normal. That's normal. That random guy that was just random in there, he took his ring, he turned to wood. He turned to wood. And also the band, there's a drum scene, and you turn to wood. And people are like, oh, what's going on? And that's her reaction. Oh, what's going on? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And you're just thinking, there's something wrong with that. Just something weird about it, which I understand. You're trying something different. You're trying something weird. You're trying something quote unquote fresh. You're not sticking the landing whatsoever. But on the positives, I think this is Eddie Murphy just kind of having fun. And I truly enjoy that. This is his most, you could say, calm role that he's done in quite some time. He's playing the dad character. He's trying to, relive Christmas over and over again because you could totally tell he doesn't want Christmas to end. It's a tradition for him. He loves it, and he just wants to make sure his family is always happy. So I do enjoy that storyline. The whole family aspect completely works for me, even though some of the characters in the family are a little bit cheesy, which I completely understand that. When you're covered in milk, make sure your whole body is covered in milk because that fleece was not covered in milk. So I'll say that thing as well. Like I said, there's a lot of things in this movie where it's like grab the ring. You're like, okay, I understand that. But a lot of it was very simplistic where you're just like, oh, that's really easy for them and that's really easy. And especially this Elf on the Shelf one where you're just like, I understand that it's a kid's movie, but you made it so simplistic on some levels where you're like, there's no enjoyment of trying to figure out the plot points of the film. I do like the production design, especially when they go in this Kringle store where he buys the stuff. It's really cool. Also, there's one scene where it's like a big tin can Christmas tree. Really cool props. I'm going to say there are some solid elements to this movie where it's like, that's some cool props. That's some good production design. That's some good acting by Eddie Murphy. But they're just the writing. I wouldn't call it the directing. I have nothing wrong with the directing to me. It's the writing and the overall premise. Really, I want to say it feels pandering. But like I said, I think it's just too easy overall for this movie. I understand that what you're trying to go for. I like the weirdness. I like how it's a little bit freaky where you're just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. But the writing pokes fun at things that don't need to be made fun of. Like, they make fun of Christmas about how, Christmas can get boring. Or there's things where they go like the religious route they don't need to go. Like I said, some of the dialogue that goes sexualized where you're just like, it's a PG movie. What are you trying to do? So I understand that they're trying to, blend the kids and adult humor in this movie. But a lot of it doesn't stick the landing whatsoever. Just a lot of weird writing aspects where you're just like, I don't know what you're trying to do, what rating you're trying to get, and who you're trying to please. Let's put it that way. And there's some side characters, especially with this cousin that is randomly taking Sean Penn's spot, if I'm not mistaken. and his character's annoying. The girl character on the infomercial, kind of annoying. Some of the neighbors, kind of annoying. Uh, yeah, it's an annoying movie that I understand that you want to make it a premise about family. Make it about family, but don't make it so weird that people are just kind of normalizing people coming out of nowhere and randomly turning to wood. So overall, Candy Cane Lane, it tries a unique premise, and I'll give it props for that. But however, when the overall package is, wrapped up, it's not good wrapping whatsoever. So Candy Cane Lane will receive a 2 out of 5 of Futons, which equals at 40%. So let's see what the critics' news scores gave this one. So critics a 44% with 62 of them. Audience score at 46% with over 500 critic consensus. Candy Cane Lane gets credit for its willingness to get weird, but in most other respects, this Eddie Murphy-led holiday comedy is a dead end. So critics are giving it we have 3 out of 5s. We have some 3 out of 4s. We have some Bs, 8 out of 10. D, 2.5 out of 5. So it's kind of a mixed bag overall. So, like I said, I could give it a 50%, but at some point, I'm just thinking anyway, 40, 46, 44. Chase Talk here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Who don't think Futontopia? You Blue Futons have a great day. I can watch this tape tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. Every single freaking one of you. And would you in Candy Cane Lane? I guess that's what the neighborhood's called, I guess, right? Right? And man, $100,000 worth of tacos, I would be pissed.